Hello and welcome to another edition of Last to First Angel Edition, where we do not do a bunch of bumping and slamming of other cars. Well, it's Melbourne, so it's only fitting that I use the Australian Supercars. I am going to go back on some of the things I recently said about these cars, because I said how horrible they are to drive. Well, I've been driving them more, and they're surprisingly fun to drive. So I'm going to feel sorry for the people who can't get these, but we're going to take a cruise here. So again, the Angel Edition videos are about not doing a bunch of bumping and grinding. Now, there is going to be some contact, which is not uncommon for a stock car type of racing, but you'll notice that none of this will give me an advantage of passing someone. So there was some mild contact there, but pretty incidental contact. Now, first lap at Melbourne, you want to just be careful. You want to advance as much as you can without taking on damage. So get your nose in where you can. The bots in the current programming for the last couple of years, they will yield to you if you really have the line. Although, 3 wide like that is not recommended. That can get in trouble. Now slow down for this chicane when there's lots of traffic, because that can happen. If they go too wide through that chicane, it's going to get nasty. Now, if I would have been more on the ball, I could have taken advantage of that. Sometimes though, a little bit of contact there. Sometimes I've seen massive piles up at that chicane where they're, I thought I was clear. I was going to tuck in behind him and try to get on the inside line for this corner. Well, in NASCAR, that would have been okay. In supercars, I don't know. In Formula One, I'm sure it's not okay. It's so... Okay, well, that was unintentional. Okay, we're going to let that go. Oh, nicking the walls. Okay, and if you haven't, please subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to keep this series going. I've also done one of the Evil Edition, where there was a bunch of bumping and grinding and smashing like crazy at Monaco. So check that one out too. So now I'm in 5th place, and I have got to now start knuckling under and putting in some really good lap times. So now I treat this a little bit more like a time trial, which is I really want to optimize my race lines. So here I'm going to go to the left, and I'll brake a tiny bit late, not very much late, and then put some pressure on him. So that's going to affect my drive out. So then for the chicane, I got to be careful. Try to keep this clean. All right, now, if I really... See, I didn't go right up to the far right. I wanted him to not have a very good line into that corner, which is going to make him brake early. Inside pass is usually good here. Same with the next corner. You can be inside or outside. If you're going to do inside, you've got to be there early. Otherwise, go outside. Here, inside or outside works. For the chicane, I actually recommend braking early and powering through. You could take that full throttle in this car. It's very risky, and you have to get on the brakes almost immediately, because this car, don't get me wrong, it does have horrible brakes. Worst braking numbers in the entire game. But the grip is just so good for this car that it really balances itself out. And we're going to do an interesting comparison here coming up. Here I'm really trying to nail a lap. Like, look at that. Beautiful driving through that chicane. Trying to set up this corner really nicely, and I ate the walls. Okay, since I blew that lap, let's bring up the liveries for this car. There's 4 liveries available for the 2016 Nissan. I'm fully upgraded. I like this livery I'm using because it has black rims. By the way, this track doesn't exist, although everything you're seeing is accurate. You can even click on this map and see it, but there's never been an actual race here. But everything is accurate, everything you're seeing in the background. Now, let's do a time trial comparison against this Lamborghini Murcielago, and we're going to have the Lamborghini in the left speaker and this supercar on the right speaker. The Lamborghini represents about 100 attempts to get this really good lap time, whereas I did about 5 attempts at this race before I got this footage that I'm happy with. So you can see though, in the supercar, I'm driving this really aggressive. I'm doing a great job. The Lamborghini's a little bit looser, but it's got better acceleration, top speed, and brakes. So that's interesting. But the grip is definitely a step down in that Lamborghini, which is also fully upgraded. And that Lamborghini run that you're seeing is incredible. One of the best runs in the world. You'll see that in a bit, like not top 3, but you'll see what I mean here. So this is really equal. So I'm really impressed with these supercars. And once we get to the line, I'll bring up my number so you can see it for the Murcielago. 51st out of 175,100 times. That's stinking good, guys. That's pretty amazing. So these are fun cars. So here we go. This is my final lap. I'm going to start to catch some lap traffic here, I expect. I mean, I've already caught some. You can see that. Look at the lead I've got. That's a huge lead. And catching some lap traffic here. One thing we've got to do yet, we've got to see how does this car handle donuts. What's its turning radius like? Here I'm doing that outside pass I talked about. So you can do it. And then I got a bit cheeky here. Oh! That's nasty. I was trying to be far to the right and I forgot the wall juts out. So I wanted to create a bit of a gap here. Let's see if I can do a clean donut at Melbourne with all these walls. See if I can get a donut going here. It's not easy in these cars. Oh, there we go. Look how tight that turning radius is. Isn't that interesting? Look at the wheels rotating so slowly. Oop, a little bit of traffic. Now I don't want to lose this race, so I better pull out of this pretty soon, or I'm going to get in some trouble here. By the way, did you notice the difference in race tones this time around? I created some stereo sound, and I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let me know what you thought of that, if it helped you to hear my voice clearer and create just a better race experience. Please like, please subscribe, check out some other videos, and join me again. I'm going to keep the Last to First series going to help you guys out in navigating tracks. Bye-bye now.